Hey, 'Hey, 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 Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at the Amplified Network. Your show will begin in just a few minutes, but first I want to go on ahead and shout out to our awesome sponsors. First, we have the Mouse Merch Box. It is an official Disney subscription box. It is $60 quarterly if you subscribe, or $70 per box. It's going to come with $120 to $150 worth of exclusive Disney apparel and merchandise, so definitely check that out. If you do decide that you want to check them out, we do have a coupon code for you. Coupon code is going to be Springs20 for 20% off of your order. Next, we have the Great Adventure Supply Company. Great Adventure Supply Company is really cool. They have a bunch of 80s and 90s themed pop culture themed Disney and theme park apparel. So if you're like me, you miss the 90s, you love that style. They recently released some new exciting additions to their store. Be sure to check them out. And we also have a coupon code for the Great Adventure Supply Company that's going to be Magic15 for 15% off of your order. So thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate you and our sponsors. So stay tuned here on the Amplified Network. Your show will be coming up soon.
what's it called button or spoiler button.
Muffin button.
Muffin button.
Let me hold my mic. Actually,
A muffin actually sounds really good.
I had a burger and a shake, and I feel like a slob. So
Or a slack off.
both. Watched my friend do a burpee challenge yesterday, and she had me filming. I'm like, I feel like all kinds of a bum because it was like some weird cross your leg 18 times on the floor, then jump up and do a burpee, and she had to do 40. And the challenge by the end of the month is like do 130.
Okay.
I'm like, the challenge is supposed to be one a day for each day of the month. What roid rage freaks are you working out with?
Nice.
That's our pre-show banter, by the way. Welcome back to Anime Club, people.
What's going on,
This
guys?
is me and Vance taking over once again.
Hey,
What?
I gave you the fist bump.
What? Oh, yeah. Thanks for not leaving me hanging this week.
Yeah, you keep giving me shit.
Both
for
on
every
top of
week.
for doing this on our actual day and not leaving me hanging on the fist bump.
Listen, you can only ever get so much. So if I'm not here next week and I don't give you one, at least I gave it to you this week.
I mean, we can always pre-record. We haven't had to do that except for once, though, so
Just
be
ready
thankful.
for that.
honestly, I'm looking. Once summer starts and I stop like the whole subbing thing, I'm looking to switch professions, and who knows what our future looks like.
Yay.
Hooray for adult living.
Guys, I'm just posting all of the fancy links and stuff for you guys on my side of social media. And thank you guys for all my friends that actually watch. I love you guys. You guys are the best.
And I'm just over here telling people to stop texting me. So let's jump into our first thing. You had the Kill la Kill game coming out.
Ooh, okay.
So you take the helm. I've only seen, I think, the first episode of this series. The game, I'm watching the trailer right now. It looks entertaining. I'll give it that much. Take it away.
It's real entertaining. So if anybody remembers our episode 2, our terms, this is real fan service. Fan service like hell. For anybody that hasn't watched the show, I'll give you like a little quick summary if I can learn how to work my mouse. All right. So a young girl, Rukia, the girl that's on the screen right now, she arrives at a school of superhumans, just trying to figure out like who murdered her dad. This show is really about a girl that's going to school trying to raise herself through the ranks to get to the school's president to find the answers out about who killed her father. And they're very into clothes. So these clothes are very revealing, and the person that loses the battle basically is stripped naked through fighting.
Really?
Yes, very much so. So when you're playing the game, like you'll see like battle damage, like their clothes slowly start to be
Yeah,
damaged,
I like the
slowly start to
little.
rip
I
up.
like the. There's barely clothes there in the first place, though. That's
Exactly, but
and-
that makes them so much the
And
less
then
clothes.
I like the. Isn't she like 15 though in the show? That's my problem. Aren't they all like
like
high school
16.
kids?
16. But the main part of her mission is because the sword the main character has, it's like a scissor sword, so she's looking for like the other half of that sword.
Got you.
And I'm not gonna go any further into it, but it's a really little cool
Yeah, 'cause
sword.
I remember the Toonami intro. Girl trying to find out who killed her dad. The outfit like talks or absorbs and becomes part of her, whatever symbiote style. And
That's like the
I
perfect
got
way to
through like
put
the
it.
first, second episode. It kind of reminded me of an anime I used to watch called. It was one of like when Adult Swim first got Toonami back. They had like a bunch of throwaway shows. They had like 12 episodes. One of them was called Casher and Sins, and then the art and design style kind of reminded me of that.
I don't remember that.
Okay, it was about like a robot guy. It was one of those shows where the main character wakes up with amnesia, finds out the whole world hates him because of whoever he was in the past.
shit.
He basically brought like the apocalypse upon people. Supposedly, they were all like half robot people on the planet. When everyone dies, they rust and like just stop moving. Apparently, there was someone who could undo this process and grant eternal life. And supposedly he killed her. That's how the show starts off. But if you watch the main character in some of the fight scenes, it looks similar to like the Kill la Kill art style. The game looks like some Guilty Gear Dragon Ball Fighters type ish though. I like the little sword clash. I feel like it's gonna be an interactive like button mashing thing.
What I got from it, it reminds me like of the Naruto Storm series, the mechanics off of that.
Yeah.
So definitely, and we saw some parts where they did like the little clash thing where it was like what was it? Where they were like just sitting there, like just doing their blades
Spamming,
and everything
yeah.
like that. So that's gonna be a little cool feature, and there's obviously little rewards and stuff like that. So definitely, when more info comes out, we'll definitely give you more. We'll report it here on the Anime Club first.
So do we have a date or any?
Not yet. It's still in production.
Okay. First day pickup or no?
No.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson with anime games, especially with Shonen. No more pre-orders for me. No first day pickups, no day ones. I will watch YouTube and watch those people be disappointed or not disappointed. Jump Force almost had me.
I feel bad for anybody that bought Jump
I
Force.
legit was hyped for Jump Force. And I'm like, let me go ahead and just cop this game now. Not much with the pre-order bonus, but I want to put my money into this. And then I saw every YouTuber's like everyone enjoyed the online play, and that was
until
about
the spammers came. The spammers are coming. The
They
spammers are
show
coming.
up in every game. I couldn't do Storm Online because the day that I spammers.
That really wasn't that hard, though.
It's not that it wasn't hard. It's the fact that you can do shuriken battles in all the Storm games. But when it's Deidara in the explosive clay that adds extra damage, they literally can just keep throwing it.
But to me, like, well, I think they fixed it in like the other
In 3 and
iterations.
4,
yeah,
probably.
they lowered his.
In
like,
in
attack
2 though,
power.
there was no getting around it. You literally could either waste the log for a substitution jutsu, and he would just keep finding you, or you just block until he breaks your shield, Smash Bros style, and then he comes in for the combo.
See, but my thing was like with those combos, because his is mainly like square combos, and those are the shuriken. And I mean, I'm that nerd that like plays the tutorial and like reads everything. If you like did the chakra dash through it, you would nullify. So you're like running through his explosions, you wouldn't take any damage. That's how I got through it. So they literally didn't do anything to me.
I didn't realize chakra dashing through over abusing substitutions and then running out and getting your ass beat was a thing until like maybe my second playthrough of Storm 4.
Yeah.
My buddy had GameFly in college and he had a PS4. So
oh my god, I forgot about that.
he had the money for it. So whenever everyone else would come here for spring break, and I'm like, I don't feel like going home to have you guys just destroy my hometown. So he would just like rent me 2 games on GameFly. So I'd have the door to myself for the week. He got me Kingdom Hearts 2.8, Storm 4. So I burned through the stories.
What the fuck?
It was supposed to be part of 3, honestly, and I could see why.
But didn't they just come out with like 2.5 before they just did 3?
2.5 was more HD remakes. 2.8 was literally.
Wait, how are they going backwards? So they went
forward,
then
1.5,
then they went forward again.
they went 1.5, 2.5, then 2.8. In the game, as a joke, I feel like they put 2.9, and I almost kicked my TV through the wall when I saw it. Because 2.8, basically they had like 2 non-playable things. They had the movie that was based off the mobile games that nobody played, except like the few hundred people who did and got their name put into the game, which had you told us that was an option, Square, I would have downloaded it just for that. And there's a cameo from one character in like the semi prequel, almost not psych gotcha pre-boss fight, final battle. And where was I even going with this? Oh yeah, so 2.8 is technically the intro to Kingdom Hearts 3, but they're like, we need to give them something playable for this. So they gave us the intro story with the girl from the prequel game who gets lost and sent it to the Realm of Darkness, Aqua.
So basically clickbait.
It's not so much clickbait, it's actually new content.
But not what you want.
It's what you want, but it's like they sold you a demo on top of some new stuff. But here's the thing:
Damn.
the prequel, the movie based on the mobile game, it's an hour long. It's not hard to burn through. But because I was wanting something new to play through and I wanted to save the Aqua stuff for last, I fell asleep watching it 4 times. Like I had to watch it in 15-minute bursts because I'm like, I get that this is important and it plays a role in Kingdom Hearts 3. I won't say where. It's just it literally shows up for like one measly part, and then you're like, well, this game raised way more questions than it answered.
Oh.
But it was like you could have saved this for like you could have put all of this in 3 and just left it alone. Because I think another part of it is cutscenes from a DS game that I played through, but they literally took the entire. It's like if you took one of those YouTube movies where it's like, hey, here's the entire cutscenes of the games, and you just put that on a CD. That's kind of what they did.
Interesting.
So it wasn't bad, but at the same time, it's like this could have all been on 3 and made it feel more complete, which is a complaint some people have. My issue with people who don't like Kingdom Hearts 3, though, is we live in the era of social media now, and you bastards all want content. Seriously, this is the problem. Everybody's like, oh, let me go ahead and be the first YouTuber to get this. Like when the game, like YouTube who loves spamming people and giving you copyright strikes for any damn thing. The game was like, hey, like when they put out, hey, we got about 30 copies that have been like sold illegally. If you see any content uploaded on YouTube, strike that person down with the power of the report button. And YouTube was like monetizing these people and putting it in your recommended sections. Dude, I feel bad for the worst is this YouTuber called The Gamers Joint. He's been like the #1 Kingdom Hearts YouTuber. He's been like the one with the most anticipation. Every time they give out like, oh, a new game is coming, here's a code for a demo that you can stream. He gets his code last out of like all the other YouTubers, or his code doesn't work. Then he keeps having issues with, apparently Audition is just the worst of Adobe products. If you can, get Final Cut, kids. $200. I bootlegged it, but it's still worth it.
You bootleg. I didn't know that's.
I had a friend who was able to give
for another day.
A friend who gave me a copy and was like, just use this to download it. It'll work. I'm like, cool. Because if I keep using my editing software, I'm going to put my fist on my laptop. But all the other creators I know, Final Cut or Premiere. Everybody uses Premiere. Sorry, guys, I haven't uploaded in a month. Premiere just stopped working, and I'm waiting on a new update to come through. So not only does this guy have to sit through spoilers after spoilers, he stops uploading halfway through the playthrough 3 different times for like a month because it's like, my Premiere stopped working. I can't get the settings to fix. So this is the dude who's waited the most and probably built up anticipation for like a good portion of the fan base by himself, and he's the last person to get through it. And you almost feel bad, but he's like been so upbeat about it. But yeah, the game, everyone else is like, let me be the first person to get through Kingdom Hearts content. So you do these long-ass live streams, and you'll probably be done by the time you get through your first one. And you're like, wow, that's it? Give me more. I need DLC. And it's like, did you take time to enjoy the game, you bastards? Like, there's some YouTubers I like, but when I watch, like, my notification comes in a day and a half after the game. What does the secret ending mean for the end of the secret boss? You know, so I'm like, I use my F. I'm like, fuck, did you enjoy the game?
No.
Like, I played one world a day. Like, it took me 2 weeks to get through it because
one world a day? God.
Like, there's technically like 7 or 8 worlds because they wanted to get all the Pixar movies in this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like the Toy Stories, the Big Hero 6, which I haven't watched still, but like
I don't think I've seen it either.
A lot of the stuff is canon. Like a lot of the stuff is canon though. So like when you see Boo in Monsters Inc., that lets you know like when the movie shuts off, she still gets to hang out with Sully and Mike like after the movie. So she doesn't just those sad fan arts where Boo is staring at the door and they never come back for her. No longer a thing. She actually gets to hang out in the monsters world. Like,
but in the movie, they show. We're talking about Disney. This is anime.
We're spiraling. It's anime-ish. There's mangas and stuff. I'm just talking about YouTube. I'm talking about like I like Kill la Kill as a game. Fan service is a must, but don't be one of those people who's like, wow, I expected more. Give me more, because that's what.
I think there's only like 8 characters in there too.
That's what pissed me off with Kingdom Hearts fans. They're like, it's been 36 hours. Literally, this is the first game I've played in years where I have gotten lost trying to explore the entire... Because it's no longer just like this long landscape. They've built it up to scale in these large-ass areas. And I'm like, I've gotten to the correct areas by going in the wrong direction for this entire game. I put in maybe 50 hours by the time I got to the final boss. And some people are like, wow, that was my entire Let's Play. 3 hours and 30 minutes. Damn. And I'm like, maybe if you took time to appreciate the 15 years worth of shit that they went through to develop and get the licenses for. Like, there's a bunch of mini games and all these other stuff and side characters and all kinds of cameos. But that's just my gripe.
It's okay.
I don't want people to don't do this to Kill la Kill. Whatever they give you, enjoy it first.
There's not much to enjoy. Well, I don't know, because to me, there's a good bit of actually.
My point anyway was that I don't pre-order anime games. That was the one game I put a pre-order on in like the first 10 years. It didn't let me down. Anyone who hates is just a critic. Continue. Kill la Kill.
I think with the amount of people, because like I was saying earlier, they only have like 8 people in that game, from what I've counted, or 9, one of the two. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they have any more people to add, because it was mainly just the student council that they had to fight. And if anybody picks up the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the main antagonists and nudist speech. And for anybody that's going to watch the show, you'll love nudist speech.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I mean, it makes their story and their mission makes so much sense.
Of course. So yeah, if you don't understand, fan service comes in 2 forms. Fan service is in like, hey, here's all our fun fan theories of things we want to see. Like we'll talk about it in another
Boobs.
episode, but Dragon Ball just dropped a new game, World Mission for Nintendo Switch. That's fan service. Like characters you thought you would see
Yeah.
in shows, like
Things
hey,
that you want, like
we
interactions
never
that you
got to
wanna
see. We never got to see any of the fusion characters
exactly.
in teenage. Like I was upset that Teenage Gotenks didn't jump in with Omega Shenron, but Teenage Gotenks is Super Saiyan 3 is a thing in Dragon Ball World
Super
Mission.
Saiyan 3 Vegito.
Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4
All
Broly.
the questions you ask yourself.
All the things you're
in
like, this would be
Dragon
cool if they
Ball.
put it in a show. Fan service. The other fan service is just like,
boobs.
how much nakedness can we put on TV before we have to change our ratings higher?
It is so great. It's so great. So if anybody,
I'm not wishing on this.
anybody that just likes to see boobs or appreciates boobs or wants to study boobs, watch fan service anime.
High School of the Dead is a good one.
High School DxD is a good one.
Is
And
that-
Massachusetts, that's a great one. Oh God, I can go on for days. Hey, anybody, Baku no Pico. Promise I love
No.
it.
No!
What is wrong?
9! We're not doing that anymore.
I'm not saying. I'm just
Stop trying to scar people. This is you're gonna be
Yo,
that,
can someone like
you'll
run
be
that
that-
clip
you'll
of
be that-
Anthony real quick?
you'll be
Just
that
someone
dude
run
who,
that
like,
clip.
tries to join, has people try to join the club in the movie or the show, and then they grow up 20 years later with a grudge because they felt hazed, forced to watch that.
Yo, that's it. If anybody wants to join the anime club, you have to watch Baku no Pico.
You do not. Moving on.
Yeah.
So Boruto actually had some good, decent fights come in for once.
Boxing, Konohamaru.
Konohamaru Sensei showing that his
He got the hands, boy.
yes, his Senju DNA. Oh, I feel like everyone focused on the fight. I was the only person who noticed that because we don't talk about the family ties in Boruto enough. So he is Konohamaru Sarutobi. That means he is
Third
the
Hokage's
grandson of the third Hokage, nephew to Asuma Sarutobi.
No one knows his parents, but they don't matter. We just know that he has the third Hokage, some third Hokage skills in there, and he has some Sarutobi skills in there, with mixed with a little bit of Naruto.
Yep. So this man, I don't know why he was. Jugo looks almost younger in these clips to me.
I don't understand what happened to Jugo at this point, because I don't keep up with the anime. I read the manga, so when I saw Jugo, I'm just like, okay, wait a minute, pause. How come he wasn't triggered by? Because he, if anybody that hasn't watched Naruto or doesn't know anything up to Jugo's point, or like, yeah, you wouldn't really know. But there's a character that he was really, really fond of. I'm not gonna say his name because he has a really good fight later on in the
Why not
original-
say his name?
Because I want them to watch the show.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about, the Bone
Yeah.
Guy.
Mr. Bone Dance. We'll
Yeah.
keep his name confidential, but they had a good they had almost had like a brotherly bond.
Yeah, like really, really close. And he went off to go retrieve Sasuke, and then Sasuke became his new idol. And Sasuke is like basically he's the one that tames Jugo in this thing. So I would have thought like he would have been triggered when he saw Sarada, and he would have been like, "You're an Uchiha? Like there's only one Uchiha, so that means you're his daughter." And he'd been like, Sasuke's gonna hate me, and then he's just gonna go on this rampage. But
I mean, but they
don't
were
know, I'm
on they were on good terms as far as like, because they were like traveling the world together.
exactly, and they
the
helped
prequels.
out during the Great Ninja War. if
And
you haven't
in
seen
like
that.
in the stuff post that
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Like, why is he fighting his daughter? Like,
that was
just,
my
like,
thing.
clicked.
I didn't see the episode. Did we get an intro as to why that he's fighting Jugo?
I
or does
don't
it-
know. I just saw Konohamaru was just like, get these hands, boy. And the animation on that, guys, is just crisp.
Yeah, and the fact that he like stabs Jugo through the mouth, and you see he's still
that was
he's
nasty.
using Asuma's chakra blades.
Bruh,
So the fact that you know that he's not just like living on through his son, he's still his nephew, I guess, is carrying on his will and using his specialized weapons that their family made for him.
and you know what's so sad? I was watching a YouTuber review this, and he's like, it's sad that everybody else is saving Boruto besides Boruto. And I was just like, bro, that's some sadness right there. Because even in the manga, like, what's it called? This is still on the subject of Boruto. Naruto was just boxing. He was just getting in those cheeks of Delta. So if anybody's not reading, there's only 33 chapters, and it's like, what, 48 pages with each, but you'll breeze through
Oh,
them.
there's only 33 chapters for Boruto?
30. Yeah, I think around 33 right now. It's monthly.
Because that's how One Punch Man is. And honestly, like, I've been slacking, but I could catch up, like, any day now if I wanted to. Attack on Titan, they they put a lot of dialogue into their pages. So when you got to
Yeah.
sit down, and it's like 40 to 60. So you need a minute. Like I'm probably gonna go home and catch up on the 2 One Piece chapters just because the manga took a strange turn.
For
They're in
for what are you talking about now? Which show?
One Piece.
Oh yeah, I'm caught
So
up with that.
they're in Wano country now.
Yeah.
The samurai, and I don't know if you've been reading. But
I've been reading.
So who washes up on the beach with amnesia. So I'm just saying, if they're going to kill her off,
No, they're not. I know. They can't. She's like, remember that she. Oh wait.
she's a Yonko, but you know whose island she's on.
I feel like he's gonna imprison her.
I feel like he will imprison her, and I feel like the embodiment of her sad childishness might come out and just go on an uncontrolled rampage.
But they say that he can't die, so I really would like to
So
stress
he
test
he
that.
can't die, but the fact that
I think that is just like a myth.
that they're
though.
both young. I mean, you see that he jumped from Skypiea head first.
Man,
and lived.
I've seen them do some otherworldly stuff in One Piece. That I am.
The thing
not-
is, though, they gave his whole backstory when he first got introduced. Like he was literally the character's. He was literally this whole show's "fuck, I'm still alive" character. Because when they first introduced him, he's like, "I've been to the guillotine 8 times. The blade broke. I've been poisoned 8 times.
But okay,
It didn't work."
But you've seen his devil fruit, so that kind of like gives you a reason of
That's what I'm trying to
why.
figure. Is it his devil fruit? Or is it just that he's just a freak of nature?
It's his devil fruit. It has to be his devil fruit.
Because I know Luffy supposedly is immune to poison, and they say it's because of his devil fruit. Or
No, that was because of Magnolia. Because what's it called? Remember, he almost died and impaled down after getting poisoned so hard.
Oh yeah,
so
the
hard.
blood transfusion or whatever.
There
right?
you go. And now he's
I didn't see
immune
the
to
episode,
poison.
but I saw that Pete, and then Usopp is just immune to pain because he's got the strongest will apparently out of everybody.
That nigga get beat all the time. So he
I thought he was gonna die when I first watched Enies Lobby.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not dead now.
Because when they first, when you
If
do
anybody gets killed off, it has to be him next. Because
it'd be weird to see at this point. But yeah, Big Mom. Yeah, spoiler alert: Big Mom is now on Wano,
But
lost her memory, and I feel like it could come back at the randomest of times, or
when she's fighting,
she will
Kaido.
go down fight.
We have a spoiler button. I just saw it.
Yay! We're upgrading every week here.
We have a spoiler button.
So she could possibly.
I have.
Sorry,
Oh, so what do we do?
I'm just saying, like
What
we
do
could.
do from now on?
We have to try to catch ourselves in the spoilers before we give the spoilers.
I think we should just do like a. I'll do my yee yee when we're gonna do a spoiler,
All
right,
right.
guys? So we're like yee, and then I'll be our spoiler.
Cue me. Spoiler, but
So-
yeah, I feel like she could possibly, maybe not die, but she might go down in this arc, sacrificing herself for the Straw Hats, and maybe she'll regain her.
Nah.
Maybe when she regains her memory, she'll think that hey, we were enemies and they didn't try to murder me for the entire time that I was in their care.
Well, the only person that have her is Chopper, and Chopper really can't do nothing to her.
Still, Chopper could have literally just went full form and just rolled her back into the ocean. Or
Could've.
did we confirm that devil fruit users can or cannot swim?
So far, they can't swim, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere like one devil fruit user can. Or something
Maybe
like
it's
that. They had, like, a
one. I
different
just know in the
effect.
4 Kids dub, that was like their immediate thing.
Speaking of dub, it is so appropriate that our episode is sub v dub today.
Are we doing that today, or do we want to move that to when we have
Oh no, we can just squeeze it in like with the topics. If the topics we have some dub in there.
I was saying, 'cause I had clips, but I was like, that's going to burn most of our day.
Nah, we'll go into it deeper. But guys, just to give you a heads up, we're not gonna do the whole like
Deep
is
dive.
sub better if dub's better, but we'll just like compare the subs and the dubs. So like we're talking about One Piece right now. I don't watch the One Piece dub, so I don't know if there's any like good moments
Whoa.
if they transferred anything good from the sub. But I will say that sub, in my opinion, is better because the feeling is there, and they are just A1 day one with that.
Yeah, I pulled clips, but I think we'll save that for another
Next time, guys.
deep dive show because we have a lot of topics. So I haven't watched Boruto's dub is what might me get into the show because it seems like
Oh, you like Boruto's dub?
it seems okay because when they first had Kid Naruto doing Baby Boruto at the end of the last Naruto the movie, back on topic by the way, I was like, okay, we're doing the Dragon Ball where the person who played our first introduction to the main protagonist is gonna play his kid, and I'm like,
That
okay.
was perfect because that's.
But now Boruto's voice is almost like an offset of that. And I'm like, that's fine with me too. And
Okay, wait, because You've played the Naruto game where the Naruto's Storm game when they
Yeah.
introduced that voice is annoying as crap.
The Boruto voice?
Yes,
That's who the actor
that
is.
English. Oh no, dude, that's not good.
That's why I'm like,
That's
that's why I'm
trash.
like, I need to wait till the dub gets up to a good portion of good fights. Like, either they need to
'Cause-
get to the sequel 10 chapter OVA manga part, which was the Shin fight.
Yeah,
They either need to get to that or to the
But they animated that
Boruto
Shin
movie
fight.
stuff.
they animated that Shin fight.
They
Right?
they animated. That was like
Yeah.
one of the best parts, and all my friends are like, "Yo, all this craziness about Sasuke and his kid." I'm like, just wait on it.
But no, this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, the way that they're doing Naruto's voice now, they gave us like a more older, tired Naruto, like a Hokage Naruto.
I
Like,
mean, she's like
perfect.
a elderly woman, so
But that's perfect though. It fits. Like she's doing it, but you can tell like she can switch at any moment. Like, oh, I can be young Naruto again. So I was just like, okay, you don't need to have Boruto's voice like exactly like Naruto, like how they did Gohan with Goku. But
yeah.
come on, like
My
don't.
thing is, if you were gonna, I should have brought this up. But did you see the whole spiel about the 30-year collector set that no
Oh.
one is trying to buy?
I saw that they messed up the voices and people are not happy about
So
it. And I have
basically,
not
so
heard.
so we'll talk about this next week. I'll try to remind ourselves, or someone in the comments will remind us. They basically announced for their 30th anniversary. Speaking of anniversaries, we'll talk about that in a second. And for their 30th anniversary, they're coming with this special collector's edition Dragon Ball box, which is going to be the orange bricks on Blu-ray, properly cropped to fit on HD TVs. The problem is everyone who's watched those movies are saying, hey, if you're going to give us this, which dub is it going to be? Which musics are you going to use?
Oh yeah, because they have to change the music too.
Because everyone's asking, if it's not the Falconer score, we don't want it. If it's not the actors from Z, we don't want it. If it's the Kai actors, keep it. So everyone's asking these questions. And the thing is, they're like kickstarting it. So it's like, we need 1,000 people to do this order of $350. And everyone's like, that's a little bit much. If you change it to like $100 and maybe 3,500 people to order, that'd be a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else, the people are just. Funimation's been on hot thin ice lately, so people are just reluctant to buy anything that they're trying to put out.
Well, my question was, why in the hell would you give us anything but the original stuff? Because that's what really.
You
I don't
would
know.
give us Kai animation with those old voices and music.
Because to me, that was like the best. That's like one of the best English dubs out there, and that's like when English dub was a good thing because they had diversity. It's not the same group of people just playing the same different voices, or them just like trying to censor it for today's new age. No offense, guys. New age of like people watching anime because they're just like, oh, we have to censor it so much.
Yeah, that's my thing. I want to know. That's another thing people want to know. Are we getting the uncut Blu-rays, or is this going to be Goku gets a hole in the chest and it's just a black burnt mark?
Yeah, like earlier today, I was what's it called? I was with one of my friends, and we were watching Overlord. He has not seen an Overlord, but we were watching clips, and we got to like one of the main fights with Shaltir and Ainz, and we were watching English stuff. And I was telling him today, like, I don't have a problem with the main protagonist voice because yeah, it fits like the smart supreme one, perfect. Would I have loved to see Frieza's voice actor, like the one now doing that voice? Yes, but it works. The person he's fighting's voice, though, you can't have a fangirl voice when you sitting there about to just like murder somebody. Like,
Yeah.
like I can't tell whether you're like happy that you're meeting him or you're like trying to sincerely. Your tone is just throwing it all off. But when you listen to the sub version of it, it's just like it fits. It's just like her voice is dark. She's like, I'm doing my thing. I can't say
This
too
is
much
a-
about this fight.
Linda Young as a Frieza, you mean?
No, I mean Chris Douglas. That's his name.
Chris Douglas.
The most recent one, the one that was the Broly movie.
Right.
was.
That
Him,
okay,
like
yeah.
that
current
intellect-
Frieza. Yes.
Yeah, because the main protagonist in Overlord, he's an intellectual. He's smart. He overthinks things, and that is the perfect. That is the voice I, 100%. I'm Mike Tyson today, guys. 100% thought of when I was listening to the English stuff. I was like, they should have got him. That would have been so perfect if they had got Chris Doug. Wait, no, that's Beerus's actor. I don't remember, but if they got Frieza's actor from the most recent Frieza actor, the new one, the understudy, to do Ain's voice, perfect. It would have been great because it's just he has that same. Not saying nothing wrong with the guy now, but I'm just saying like that Smart Supreme one shit that they're doing. Great, keep it rolling, guys. But what were we just talking about?
Anniversary. So that was the 30th anniversary of that. Moving on from Boruto. Speaking of anniversaries, last Wednesday was officially 3 years of My Hero Academia greatness. A show
Great
that
anime, guys. Dub sucks on that. Don't at me.
What? First, that was one of the clips I pulled for this. Was that I think I like United States of Smash.
No.
Yeah, I think it's said best in English.
No, sub is so much better.
I don't doubt it.
at me.
I don't doubt it. I like All Might's voice actor for the dub. I like Bakugo's. He annoys the hell out of me.
Nah, bro. Bakugo. Okay, wait. Let me start off with the main one. Deku sounds like a bitch, a little bitch.
I mean, that's kind of his
in
character.
English, and I know that's exactly what it is, but it just sounds more bitchier because every time he opens his mouth in the English dub, I just feel like Bakugo. I'm just like, shut up, you nerd, and I'm just like, fuck.
That was my thing in the dub though. When they finally fought, and he's like, because Bakugo was having his whole insecurity thing, and then at the end of the episode, like it's all this development. I'm like, we're supposed to feel bad because you can't bully him anymore. Like I don't get why he's friends with you in the first place. Like the second he started crying, like, oh yeah, I feel like this, I would have been like, you damn right it's your fault, bitch. You did all of this. You want to cry and do all this stuff and boast at the festival and be the biggest, baddest person and then cry when you get kidnapped. I didn't feel bad for him either.
You know what this is?
I would have been rubbing salt in the wound.
You know what this is? This is Vegeta watching Goku like from start to finish over becoming like he was this is Vegeta at the top of the world right now. Actually, when he's saying his shit, he's actually backing it all up. But now Goku's actually like slowly creeping up and he's actually watching. Because remember in Dragon Ball, he never got to watch it. He just came to it and he's just like, what the hell, you're better than me. But now Bakugo is actually watching Deku from the start. Like he was just like, you ain't got no powers, you ain't shit. Lick my boots. Now Deku is just looking at him like, lick my boots, bitch. It's just the turning of it's just the passing of the torch, and Bakugo doesn't want to pass that torch.
And I don't feel bad for him. That's because of how his character is, and that's a nod to how well his voice actors are doing the job, and a nod to how well his character has been written to make you feel that type of way.
I really didn't care. I'm with you. I really didn't care.
See this right now. But
I really didn't care. I thought it was just like, I thought it was funny.
But I just saw everyone on Twitter like, are we supposed to feel bad because he can't bully Deku anymore? I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't.
I don't either. I think it's well deserved. Like I said, we're watching the shifts change. Now he's still a better hero than Deku.
Still a better hero.
His
but
mind.
But even after the fight, when he was like, so what do you think of my foot style? I'm like, why do you need his approval? You literally lost on a fluke.
Because he's the bar.
And like give it like a week of more training and mental and physical scarring, you could put him through a wall.
And if anybody that reads the manga, you know that's true. Cause
like I'm really hoping there's just a point where Bakugo just is himself and Deku just like gives him the Frieza front hand backhand combo combo breaker that Frieza got on Namek.
Kidney punch. The
front hand backhand combo breaker when he was like, I'm gonna slap some. I just want to see Deku like at mid sentence when he's talking about leaving someone behind or doing some kind of dick move, just slam him into a wall faster than he can finish the sentence and just go back and forth upside his head and just remind him, like, you are a team, whether you like it or not. Like, you get off on being this much of a dick to everyone around you.
He really does. That shit's funny. What else?
Then all the weird fans of Bakugo's mom.
I'm not going to say anything. Fan service. That's all I'm saying. Fan service.
I don't feel like it's fan service. But
fan service for me.
I guess she's literally like in mom clothes all the time though.
She's waifu.
I guess for some people. So since
that wasn't a term we went over, guys. Waifu is like wife material.
So favorite moment out of the entire show or manga so far, since you've read both. Well, you've read one and watched.
I can't say anything I've read so far. Where you guys are at? You guys just did the United States of Smash. When they did the pizza delivery scene, that shit was so funny. Honestly, and then the Deadpool guys just looking like, who the hell ordered a pizza? That killed me. And then
he is basically like Deadpool re-embodied.
Yeah,
the fact that he like talks like that, and he's like his left brain and right brain are basically combating all the time.
Exactly. And then that scene where All Might was screaming no when they stole Bakugo back, I was like, bro, I felt that, especially in the sub. Dub, just no. I'm sorry, guys. No offense, Chris Sabat. I love you, but no.
What is it? It was. I guess more people laughed at this and they felt bad about it. Was when he's like, by the way, the villain I've been training is your teacher's grandson.
Yo,
And he
that was
just- everyone was just laughing because he was like, what would she think if she saw what became of us? No! And everyone was like,
he was
so
such
what?
he was such a dick for that. And I felt well, first I felt like All Might got over that like a little too quick because he just with the quick like and then he just like was just like, all right, now I'm gonna beat your ass.
I would say,
like,
you've read the manga. Is that something they build on in the future? Is like, I feel like I need to redeem Shigaraki because that's my master's child? Or is that just not touched at all?
yes, but they do not interact at all.
I could see it. It's one of those things I feel like it's going to get
It's
skipped
just building
over.
towards the climax.
That's fair. I feel
It's
like
just
we won't get
building
much
towards
attention.
it.
We have a... Okay,
Yo, that was so messed up because he was just like he did the little fake smile thing. He's just like when he told him like oh, you're not smiling, and then he did the whole like trying to smile with his big mask thing on. Like, boy,
I thought
who
it was
are
weird
you?
that like All For One when during the fight didn't have a face, but then when he's in jail
Yeah,
he
but-
has like eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and
Yeah, that was like some real detailed mask stuff. Like, bro, like
it was weird that like they didn't
who
draw a
does your
face on
cosplay?
him until like later.
who does his cosplay? That was a really
I
good.
don't know. I will say that my favorite moment. This is just because this is my favorite character. When they were in the training forest and Dark Shadow officially lost his shit, and we saw his full power, and Bakugo did what I was thinking the entire episode, and they're like, "We need to calm him down." And he was like, "Wait," and then he's like, "By the way, villains that way," and he literally knocked every single tooth out of that dude's mouth.
Oh yeah. To me, that was like a bittersweet moment because it was just like, cool, we see you at your max, but then for the rest of, because I read, that's like the stop gauge there. Cause
That's
it's
just.
like,
I want them to go deeper into that. So moving on, My Hero just announced they're getting a second movie that's coming out soon. Hopefully,
you guys, if you guys haven't seen the first one, watch the first one because it's really good.
yeah. One's Justice, great film, canon to the plot. Some people felt that some things were kind of shoehorned in there, and I will agree to that. It worked out fine for me. I had no problem going to pay to see it in theaters. Great experience. This will definitely do the same.
Oh, this actually looks pretty. I don't know what costumes those are because I don't. I'll be quiet. I'm just gonna wait.
Oh, do they get so in My Hero? They all work at this hero academy. They're in school, and part of it is they eventually get their costumes and get their costumes upgraded to suit their powers. Further on in the manga, do they get more upgrades?
Deku gets the most upgrades. Bakugo, he gets long sleeves, and that shit is actually real fire.
Is
I'm-
it?
I'm
I kind of like the grenade pin look.
no, it's still there, but it has long sleeves now because he has like a tank top.
Got
now.
you.
He gets long sleeves. Yo, like that was lit. I was like, bro, like that's clean.
Yeah, I like that when he let Deku use it, even though it was like, once again, he was willing to sacrifice getting kicked out of school basically to let both of them fail just because that was his partner. Like at this point, even the audience figured out like, hey, they're parting you on purpose.
And you
'cause-
know what the sad part is? Like, if anybody that's watching us right now, like, you can join in on this. I feel like the reason that Bakugo is mad at Deku, in all honesty, is just so like you were saying, like you can't bully him anymore. But like, this all happened because he was like, "Oh, can I help you out of the water?"
you think that's it?
That's what it was. Remember? You don't remember that little
I remember
flashback?
them being friends like when they were little like
No,
that,
he-
and then they all their quirks activated, and then he just became the hot shot. And then once they got to middle school, it's like, hey, guess what? I'm leaving you behind and excelling the UA. And now every time I get that he's got the Vegeta complex of like he's on my tail with every development I make. But at the same time, it's like maybe if you quit complaining about everyone else and stop being such a dick, karma might like you.
Nah,
Like,
it was
even as the audience before it got set, I figured out, hey, they're most likely teaming you up because if you're bickering like Todoroki and the one dude at the licensing exam, if you're bickering like that in public, people are going to get killed because you two can't act right.
exactly. And
But he's just like, I'd rather both of us fail than accept your help. And I'm like, I'll leave you behind if I didn't have that. If that was an option.
But to get back on your point, what's it called? The whole reason that started is yeah, you're right. They're all best friends before their quirks manifested, and when everybody else's except for Deku got there, they started like beating up on Deku, and Deku was just still.
So they were
stick
friends
around.
until like they're 5. So he hasn't liked you for 10 years now.
Yeah.
So why you're still seeking someone's
But
approval?
no, this is the thing that like really like set Bakugo off because one day they were like playing like follow the leader or something.
That's the thing. I saw that, but I didn't read that much into that flashback.
But that was what set it off.
Really?
When he fell in the water, he was like the look. Literally, this was it. The look that he gave him like, oh, you need help. Want me to help you, defenseless little child? Because I'm helping you out of the water. That's what pissed him off.
I completely overlooked that because I thought it was just another flashback to add to their like their like friend relationship thing growing up.
That's what it. That's all that set it off. And you can read that and you can rewatch that because that's what.
I might have
and
to
they
go.
even said it like when the slime thing was trying to take over Bakugo. He was like, "I hate that look you give me. Like I'm defenseless. Like I can't help myself because you're the one with no powers. I have powers." Hold up.
That was my first.
Yep. Desi Dez. You're right. He does want to be number one in everything.
Yeah,
His
so
little man pride got hurt.
that's the thing. His man pride, as far as him not being able to turn to a villain, I'm like, that was great character development because he would just tell every villain in there to go kiss his ass, and I'm just like, okay, but if you're such a badass, you could have blown this whole building and know who. Such a badass who doesn't care about anyone's well-being. You could have blown this building to bits at any time with everyone in it, and you didn't.
But
and
that wouldn't have been smart.
That wouldn't have been smart. But that'd be Bakugo.
But like I said, remember he has, even though he's like the little shit that he is like he has like the mind of like the number one.
He has
hero.
some battle sense.
Yes, he just over the top battle sense. Like he's just an asshole. So it's just like how the hell. But hey, it works for him. But all right, let's why don't we switch gears?
My Hero movie's coming out sometime. I want to say next year. If Dark Shadow. If this movie is one of those ones where it's like, hey, it's off to the side.
Sad.
If it's off to the side but not in its canon, I'd love to see more development because I feel like his quirk is so different because he's got like a whole living he's like not Maka. I am blanking on the name, and somebody in the comments can tell me the person who was a bad guy in like the first season of Soul Eater, and we don't know if it's a he or she. It was like the witch's son, and he had like this black blood blade. But then when they finally beat his ass, it like calmed down and became like its real form. Quick-witted, sassy mouth, but was willing to help the good guys in the end. And that's kind of what Dark Shadow reminds me of. It's this whole other being inside him that we still have yet to fully.
Oh, you know what? That show Blue Dragon. You ever watch that crap?
I watched the first season before Toonami got the plug pulled.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And I hate to burst your bubble, but.
We're still young in the series. I hope in the future though there's some kind of deep dive.
I hope so too.
I hope that we get some kind of deep dive into what Dark Shadow is. Like, imagine if it's not even a quirk; it's just some weird spiritual thing that got passed down.
Oh, it's a quirk.
That on top of the whole bird head thing, like, and the fact that he's like
that part's weird.
The fact that he's got a room like Raven from Teen Titans. Like,
that was a good shot.
There's clearly so much backstory that goes into keeping this potential monster at bay. And you saw what happened when it got loose. Was cutting limbs off of his own teammates, which the regeneration I kind of called that. Because he can spit them out at will. It's no surprise he can grow them back. So the regeneration thing, cutting off his people's limbs, and the fact that he was just attacking blindly anyone that got in his way. And then when he finally took down the villain, he's like, I'm still not done. And he was kind of like Hollow Ichigo the first time he broke out. When he was like, I don't need you here. He's like, I'm not done. We could easily get through all of this if you just let me take over.
Bruh, but I'm just saying, like.
All right. Speaking of anniversaries, it is the 10-year anniversary of Dragon Ball Evolution. F's in the chat.
Guys,
this was the first.
Trash.
This is the beginning of the death of live-action films.
Good God. Ukog.
What was that? Was that his name in the movie, or was that the name of the Ozaru?
That's Goku. That's Ukog. That's what the fuck that. Actually,
where did Ukog come from? Because they called him Goku.
I don't know. From Team 4-Star.
Yeah, I saw when they were like Ukog.
I'm like Black Goku.
I was expecting Black Goku.
But what I got is Nega Goku. Goku Dark. Ukog.
That's what I'm like. I'm like, was that his name in like the overseas edition? I didn't think it was terrible when I was younger because I'm like, cool. Then when I watched
Wukong
it,
is the new black.
and then I watched it, and I'm like, okay.
I didn't watch it at
One
all.
of the funniest. If you don't even have to watch it, watch Not How It Should Have Ended. Watch honest trailers for this movie.
Hey, DJ Desi Des, because sorry about this, but she's actually doing a run through of all of like Dragon Ball. Like, so she's watching Dragon Ball from beginning to end. Good luck. So that includes the movies too. And how many movies were at? Like 16,
There's
17?
officially, what is it? Fusion Reborn was the last one. Battle of the Gods, Resurrection of Broly. There's officially 16 canon movies, and that's not even counting like the OVAs.
That one Dragon Ball Evolution movie you do not have to watch.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself
There's
through that.
16 movies. Then there's the Bardock OVA, Trunks OVA.
I thought Bardock was a movie.
Technically, it's like a special.
Fair.
That's the OVA. Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans. Never got dubbed. Episode of Bardock.
But wait, didn't they dub the 1999 version?
No.
They didn't?
No. That's why they got re-released on Raging Blast 2 as their selling point, and people were like, you could have dubbed it. You
Good,
dubbed
you
the
were
rest of the
excited for
game.
that. Good job.
So there's 16 movies, Bardock, actually 16 DBZ movies. I think there's 3 for Dragon Ball.
They're so confusing, though.
Curse of the Blood, they're not canon, that's why.
So-
Curse of the
but
Blood
even
movies.
if it's not canon, like it's all over the place. Like I have no idea what's going on.
The
in those
movies for Dragon Ball Z are technically like an alternate timeline. Like the Saiyan saga.
No, not Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah.
I have no
I
idea
haven't
what's
watched
going
any
on
of
in
them all
that.
the way through. I've seen clips, but I'm like, this can't be canon because certain characters like get killed off, and I'm like, but they're in the end of the series, and they're like, yeah, this isn't canon.
You know what I don't like what they do with anime movies, and this is just the biggest gripe for me because Dragon Ball did this. They do a thing where they condense all the seasons in one movie, and they call that a movie. And the first time I saw that was with the show Initial D, because they had like a couple. Like
I remember that.
Yeah, they did that. Like they showed all the races in one movie, and I'm just like, why the hell didn't y'all just do that in the first place? Why the hell did y'all even make episodes just for y'all to do this? Because there wasn't a movie. It was, and I think like one of them was like a musical movie.
Yeah,
too.
they did that with I think when we first started the Future Trunks arc, they did Resurrection F Future Trunks edition, and it's literally Trunks opening, which doesn't make sense. It's Trunks opening like a book that catalogs all the fights, and it's like, yeah, I remember Goku. He had to fight Frieza back in the day. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait,
like what the hell?
like you weren't. It's literally just a scene of Trunks in the end, scene of Trunks at the beginning, and at the end it starts off with I think Black's first appearance, and it's literally just like he crash lands to Earth, and it's like lightning strike. I have to go fight now, and I'm like, that was like extra
for nothing.
10 minutes of
You
content.
just wasted an animator's time.
So I'm trying to think. There's like, so Bardock,
hell, even if they
Son Goku and Friends Return, episode of Bardock, Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans. There's like 5 OVAs for Dragon Ball Z. So you got 16 movies, 5 OVAs. That's like 21 things outside of the main show to watch.
Yeah, so just be on the lookout for that.
Unless you want to go to one of the sites that'll stream only episodes that are canon and not filler.
No, but there is a site, and thank you for saying that. So you're hearing me saying live on the Anime Club. I have to send DJ Desi Des the link to the website that shows all the filler for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, or all Dragon Ball related series. I have to do that. So we heard it here on the Anime. I have to do it now. And she just said it here. Yes, you do. So
Go for it.
there you go. All right, what's the next on the list?
All right, well, we'll breeze through this real quick just because we're short on time. But if we say this next week, it'll be probably too late. So Pokemon Go Salamence Community Day is coming up this weekend.
Get that Salamence, guys. That's
I
a
think
good
we
one.
all have to work, so we'll be missing out on this.
Yeah, I'm going to try for the little hour that I have.
I've caught like I think 2 bag-ons total, so I will catch enough to, if I have a chance on my shifts, I'll catch enough to awaken it, or
just get the shiny and then just walk.
yeah, I'll get the highest CP shiny I can. I don't have time to play the IV counting game.
I still don't know how to do that.
It's an app. There's an app called Pokegenie. You take a screenshot
that's
of your
too much work.
Pokemon, you upload it to the Pokegenie app, and it'll tell you IV 80%. Good if you have this combo of moves.
For the casual
and
player,
it'll rate them 0% to 100%.
okay. For the casual player that's not trying to like battle people like that, or just not that serious into battling, don't worry about that.
So yeah, Community Day this weekend will go from 3 to 6. 3 to 7 technically. So you have after 6 o'clock, you have an extra hour to evolve.
1 extra hour
to evolve and get your community day move. Here's what I've been doing. If you have one you like, high CP, high IV, whatever. Evolve it or not evolve. Awaken it and get the second combat move or special move while it's still in the first form. It only costs 25 candies. If you do it in second or third form, it's going to cost 100 and it is a waste. I'm probably going to end up doing, because I'm short on time, I get off of work at like 5 or 6 if it ends up running late. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm just going to catch enough to get the candies, which it'll take... So you'll need 150 candies to get your Salamence.
150?
It's 125 the evolution, another 25 if you get the second special move.
Oh, yeah.
So my goal every community day is 300. One so I can have a regular evolve, one so I have a shiny. I'm just going to go for my shiny, highest CP I can, evolve, open that special move slot, and then while I'm at work, I'm just going to spam my pineapple berries and try to get all my candies. And then whenever I get off, I will just try to catch what I can and get the special move enough to evolve. I might have to save it for the next one. I don't even know what's coming up.
I don't know. I know me. Like, I don't care about the special move like that. I just want to have the Salamence, especially that shiny green. When the whole...
Why are all the shinies green? Latios is coming up for a special raid. So from next Monday to the following Monday, Latios, the blue one, will be out. And it's going to have a chance of being shiny, finally.
And in the words of Vegeta, grab your friends, grab your shit, and go get your Latios.
Eat that horse. I don't know what the shiny color is. Like Latias,
it's green.
Is it? Latias is orange. Latias is like a light orange, and
and Latios is a green.
Because we went out raiding in negative weather in Minnesota. Hi to all my Midwestern friends. And after like the 10th raid, my buddy got a shiny, and I just got an average Latias, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. Moving on. So One Punch Man season 2 episode 1 dropped yesterday. Madhouse dropped. Everyone's complaining on Twitter because the animation isn't to where it was last season.
Well, that probably has something to do with the animator that passed out and was suing for overworking himself.
How long ago was that, though?
That was like recent. Like, I just saw that.
Yeah,
on
so
my
Madhouse
Twitter.
decided they were going to drop this project, and I will take terrible or lower anime. Here's the thing. They set the bar high. That's why everyone's critiquing the anime so far. So when you set the bar high, the next person who has to take on that helm basically has to live up to the expectation. So if they're not the most up to the technique, top notch creators, but I'll take that versus no animation at all. Because honestly,
because they sometimes get a little.
I've been reading like the manga. Like even the manga is a HD remake of the webcomic. Because the webcomic is just like scribbles. If you watch it, it's decent story, but it's scribbles. And then they pass it off to One or whoever does the illustrations. He puts it into like the HD format you see in the manga. That's actually
really
licensed and really good. And
if anybody reads the Mob Psycho 100, that's
another show I need to catch up on too.
Really good. I just saw like where they are in the anime. Good stuff. Good animation. So good.
Yeah, they have like if you look at the anime and look at the manga, the panels from the manga are almost like shot for shot recreated in the anime, and it's beautiful. So it's not really noticeable the downgrade of quality, but people are being like, "Oh, this is gonna be terrible," and yada. Like people are mad because I don't really care about openings and endings. The ending song is like still shots going across the screen and then just like freeze framed with the character's name. It's like, oh, this is such lazy animation. I'm like, people are in there probably working themselves to death to put this together. I will take whatever they give me because I have to wait like 3 years between every anime season.
Mm-hmm. What was I gonna say? So wait, who's doing the animation for?
I don't even know who the studio is, but I will say one person that gave us props is once again shout out to my guy Deji, Suburban Kings, Apple, Spotify, wherever you can find podcasts. He was one of the people who hit me up on Twitter and told us he liked our recommendations, which we do. We'll do one today. We're going to start doing this like a book, more of a club type thing. We'll save them for like the end or the first of the month. But yeah, shout out Deji, Suburban Kings podcast. Yeah, bro, the 2 shows y'all recommend on Amplified Network and Anime Club are fire. Watch both of them, and people just got to be patient. That was One Punch Man and the show you had, which was...
I don't remember which show was that. I've recommended like 2 shows on here already. Oh my God.
I think it was the detective show. The guy, the time travel.
Erased.
Yeah, you Erased in One Punch Man. If you watch the first season,
How
12
far are you on that, Denji? Let me know, because I would love
Deji.
to. Deji, my bad. Damn it. See, watching too much anime, and I think that I'm cool now. I can
Yeah, our
pronounce
coaches
these
butchered our name too. Don't feel bad.
things.
No, our whole senior football game was like the first time I think our whole stadium or school heard my name said correctly.
Really?
Because I went up there, like I went in the athletic office like the night before, and I was like, because the dude's name is Steve Showers. I was like, Steve, you've been like hooking me up with stuff like for the last 4 years. I need you to get this right. I forget. It was either Remember the Titans or one of those football movies. They played this like really sad guitar solo song. I can't remember what movie it was. Somebody else can tell me. And I hit up my friends, and they started playing it when they were like, "Here come your seniors," and then my friends like, "Bastard, I'm probably gonna fucking cry now." So then they heard Tafari Young, and all I heard running through. Running through the tunnel. All I hear is like hand slap. We've been fucking up his name the whole time. High five, dude. You could have told us. High five. Damn, I feel like an asshole. High five. You could have told me years ago. And then my coach like, yeah, thanks, Tafari. I'm like, Coach, I told all y'all at least 3 times. After that, I just give up. So then everyone in the crowd, you could hear like the cheering. And then you hear cheering and then like mass confusion as to like, we've been saying it wrong for 4 years. And I'm just in the crowd, like on the field, like, yep, thanks for 4 years of finally getting it right.
Jesus.
You're welcome for the T-shirts I throw at halftime, by the way. I love you all.
Okay. Oh, speaking of shirts, we have to talk about that at the end
Yes,
of the show.
we have merch. Backpacks is probably what I'm getting.
DJ Desi Dez has made it known to me that she wants a shirt. So we have to make her a special shirt instead of a butt bag. Okay, cool. Because you heard her, Desi Dez. Like she said that she can make it for you.
That is all up to the power of her and Etsy.
There you go.
But
so you get your anime shirt. Happy birthday.
Our recommendations are good. Pay attention here. We recommend some good stuff. We have comedies and actions and dramas and all kinds of craziness to recommend.
Service.
That too. He recommends one type. I recommend the other. Moving on, because we're burning through it here. What is this game you had us looking at earlier? Because I was very confused at the look.
The game. Oh, so Date Alive, guys. Fan service.
Yeah, this looks like a fan service.
The last 2 things on today's list. Fan service. That is me today. So this is a really funny show. Basically, what it is, these girls called spirits, they have unnatural powers. And they come, wreck shit, go home, try to blow up the earth and all that good stuff. Well, it is up to our young protagonist, Shido, to come and woo the girls like he's Ric Flair and, take them out on dates, razzle-dazzle them, show them a good time.
Oh, Jesus.
And his mission is to, steal a kiss and seal away their powers. That way they can't, cause any more harms, and they can just live a normal girl life, and whenever like another spirit comes, they fight and all this other good stuff like that, right? But here's the catch. Whenever he kisses said girl, as he seals their powers, they just lose all their clothes right there on the spot. That's the fun part with it. And you can only imagine.
So how do you make a game out of this then?
Text space, because that's how the show is. Like it's like a text space. Like he has options. You pick through the options. Like, okay, which one's the best option to woo the girl, and you just pick that option.
So it's like a dating simulator.
Yep.
Oh,
it's so good.
Oh, I know you're picking this one up. Pre-order day 1.
No, I'm not. I don't do that. Listen, the only games I'm worried about right now for anime wise, Sword Art Online and Tokyo Ghoul.
All right.
We'll talk about that next time because Tokyo Ghoul looks fire.
I need to get into it. I keep seeing people talk.
Don't read it. Don't watch it. Read it.
Why not watch it?
They don't follow the material. I mean, like the first season, it does. Route A.
Kind of like Dragon Ball Evolution.
Not that bad.
No, that whole movie. I won't spoil it for your friend here. But if you watch, I will say this: if you haven't watched it, go to.
Don't watch it.
There is 2 YouTube channels that have ruined just movies for me. Cinema Sins and what is the other one? Smosh Movies or whatever it's called. Smosh Bits.
They're great. Shout out Cinema Sins.
They have watched the Cinema Sins for Dragon Ball Evolution and watch honest trailers for Dragon Ball Evolution.
Please.
Honest Trailers opens like with a movie that stole from everything except the source material.
Jesus Christ.
And then I think the first sin on Cinema Sins is this movie exists.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it is. That guy kills me. His voice is just perfect.
Speaking of movies I need to watch, Seven Deadly Sins. I'm probably gonna sit down with
watch
this when
that
I go
show.
home.
It's good.
I've watched the movie.
reading
I've
it
watched
is
the
good.
shows. I haven't watched the movie. So what is this?
Which movie? Which movie?
The
They only
Seven
have one
Deadly
movie.
Sins movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Watch it.
So Nanatsu no
Sorry, guys.
Taizai. What is this? A TV station? Who's acquiring this new show?
Okay, so Natatsu no Ta- and for everybody, so they don't get confused, there's two versions of the Seven Deadly Sins. There's the one with all the girls, fan service, and then there's this. Look for this. This is what we're talking about.
Wait, so this is a different Seven Deadly Sins series?
Literally, in the world of anime, they like copy the same thing.
I know what I'm saying. So
actually,
this,
we'll talk about
so
that
this is like Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood running at the same time.
No. It's more like Asterisk Wars and Chivalry of a Failed Knight. They're the same thing, same concept, same end goal, just differences, but it's the same storyline.
I was gonna
Literally
say because
with different characters.
Meliodas looks like him and Elizabeth look different here. Like the weird.
It's updated. Like that's right where they are. That's where the good stuff happens in that arc. So I'm not saying anything else. You shut up because don't ask me. But good. Just watch
Wait,
it.
so is this like taking place after the second season?
Yes.
Okay, so it's one of
The
those.
season 3.
Okay, yeah, it's a new season of a show, but technically a new show just under a new, like an addition to the name.
Yeah.
So it's like Dragon Ball Kai almost type deal.
Kind of. Skill Digital. This stream is really quiet.
Is it?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. DJ Desi Des, type something if you can hear me.
That's all right. We can
Yeah,
project.
that's better. Well, okay, they hurt. That's better.
Okay, yeah, we can project. Hopefully, the rest of the stream didn't come out like that.
We're so sorry.
Otherwise, put headphones in.
Don't do that.
What
That didn't sound too nice.
Look, we do the best we can. We got padding. We have buttons. We have a spoiler alert thing. We bring props. We're working on it here.
Okay, we're working on it.
But yeah, Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, but guys, like I was saying, there's the all female version, and then there's this version that we just saw. We showed the picture for. That's the one we're talking about. We haven't watched the all female one, so we don't know how that show goes.
There's an all-female Seven Deadly Sins?
Yeah,
Really?
that's what that is. So we'll get on. I'll probably watch it, see what it's like, but there's just so there's no confusion.
I will say I liked. Did you get through season 2?
I read it.
Oh, I like the end of the second season. Only thing that bothered me is like I will say I'm not gonna try to give any spoilers, but I will say
Spoiler button.
Yeah, we can pull up the spoiler button. I will just say that when they built up the 10 Commandments, my only problem was like the way they were going about it, and I'm like, okay, we're building up these guys, but then when Meliodas goes and like smacks them around when he first gets his powers back, I'm like, that's fine. And then we took out it. Okay, you could tell me. Is Galen going to be a problem in the
Galen's
future?
dead.
Officially?
He's dead.
That was my thing. I'm like, okay, we wanted to see the villains get killed, but did we want to see them killed before we know what their full potential was? Like, I feel like Galen was...
Well, I'll tell you this. Pride, what's it called? The Escanor kills him.
That's my thing.
That's actually in the second season.
No, it's not, because at the end of the season, they're like, by the way, everyone you thought died is still alive.
I could have sworn
It was
they
like-
showed that already, because they showed Estarossa versus Escanor. We're bantering.
No, that was it. The end of the second season, it literally is Escanor versus the 10 Commandments. Like, it's no longer the 7 deadly sins.
No,
it's
I thought
the
they
7 deadly Escanors versus the 10 Commandments.
Bro.
So then Escanor takes on his brothers, which is
Meliodas.
He takes on-
Estarossa. That's his name.
Estarossa and Evil Meliodas.
Yeah. Okay. There you
The
go.
one who also knows Zeldris and Evil Meliodas, whatever their names are. Estarossa,
Zeldris, and Meliodas.
So Estarossa and what's his name? I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. There's too many weird.
Jesus Christ.
It's one of those, and you know what also made me like semi-annoyed when the samurai sacrificed himself and was like, "I'm gonna summon forth this angelic being," and the spirit comes out of the sword to fight the 10 Commandments. It was like, the fuck are y'all bringing me here for? I don't want this fight, and then just leaves.
Samurai.
I don't remember his name. He died. He died during the fight. Like, he basically had some weird angelic spirit who betrayed the 10 Commandments a long time ago. He literally is like, I'm going to sacrifice myself because bringing her spirit out of the sword, you need a human host. I will sacrifice my body. She literally comes out as like, where am I? Are those the 10 Commandments? This isn't my fight. I'm going home. She literally just like, oh, bye, and then just takes off. And then they go to chase her down. She's like, hey, I still don't want to fight. Like, when you guys got betrayed, we were just following orders. And then gets immediately spliced in half. And that is the end of that.
I had to go watch that scene then.
And then the Escanor fights.
Who you're talking about.
The Escanor fights. You get into it with him taking on 2 of the commandments. Like the Gallon stuff, that was cool. But the fact that the fairy girl who can bring you back to life has been murdered 3 times or like 2 times now. And then at the end of the season, they literally show like...
Oh, the snake one.
Yeah.
The 10 Commandments snake one. Okay, I know what you're talking about
When
now.
they literally show her at the end and it's just like... So she's still hanging in there after being burnt to a crisp, after being decapitated.
Okay, so
like I get
basically they pulled like the whole essence card. Like her essence is that of a little snake. That's why I was like the snake girl, 'cause she's like a little snake that manifested into a human. So her
really,
her commandment.
I thought all of them had like the 7 heart thing that you had to kill them. Like
they have that too.
So that was my thing. That
it's like Envy from Full Metal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what that is.
I missed the episode where he transformed, but literally I saw the next episode where he
was that little shit.
He ended up being that.
That's exactly what
I like the way they analyzed this fight though. It's like, you ever notice he's kind of heavy for a little guy, and then you realize why.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that whole reason that Meliodas came and like wrecked them like that, because he was once their leader, but he's still not at full power.
That's my thing. He was once their leader. I sympathize with the way the ending went with the final villain with Bond, because he was like, when Merlin was like, yes, we wanted to kill him for a long time, but we all know that was no way to win that fight. Like, I felt that because when the dude basically...
Imagine me reading it. That was horrible.
When the dude basically was like, yeah, he basically saw the error of his ways from being in someone else's shoes from so long, and then he looks at Meliodas and was like, let's just end this. And then everyone was like, this doesn't even feel right anymore. And then Meliodas is just like, we're doing this anyway. And then you just kind of feel like, oh, like that didn't need to go that way. So then when Merlin put it into words, and even Bond was basically like, welcome back, dude. Like, you feel like maybe Bond has seen him die enough times to realize this is going to be an issue? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, if so, what has killed him before?
If you think that's bad, wait until the story gets like further in. Because
yeah, I've heard that it's wrapping up, but it's getting crazy.
Yeah, just the concept of death in this show is just a joke.
That's how I feel, but because like at the end of the show, I'm like, okay, Escanor took out all these people, but we didn't see them at full potential. We just saw the snake chick get roasted like 3 times, and then when Escanor launches the fireball, and it's just like, you could beat me. I didn't decide that, and then they both jump in the way of it, and then at the end of the show, they don't even show them on camera recovering. It literally is just like, they're still alive. By the way, that person's still alive. By the way, they're still alive. I'm like, what the? I'm like, who? Like, what is the power scaling right now? I get that Escanor can basically wreck everyone's shit, but at the same time, I watched her get burnt to a crisp.
Wait, which Escanor are you talking about? Because now I gotta ask you.
Muscular Escanor.
The sun guy.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, the fact that he legit took on enough of them, and then I think the naked chick and the dude who was always with her, I think her and him are the only 2 who are actually dead. And Gallon, who I feel like they could do an ass pull and bring him back from stone eventually.
No, he's done.
Think so?
He's done.
I was surprised. I felt like the fact that they didn't break the statue to confirm it was a hint.
No, he's done.
Think so? Okay. Yeah, and then the fact that also, because I shout out Daquan Wilshire, he was like, he does like reviews of shows that he watches. He's like, let's talk about this show called The 7 Deadly Escanors, nigga. Y'all made me watch this show thinking Meliodas is going to be the greatest one. Escanor's like my favorite person. I don't give a damn about everyone else. Escanor can do this show by his damn self. And I'm like, that's right. Okay. And now let's talk about Meliodas and Bond, the pedophile twins.
Let's talk about that next week, because that is so funny, actually.
That was disturbing to me when he had the baby. When he's holding the baby, he's like, back off from my woman. I was like, what the shit? And then I had to read up. I'm like, okay, every time his love dies in this show, she's instantly reincarnated within like 10 feet of him in the spirit of a newborn child. And every time he
dies, he comes a little bit more of a demon.
Basically. But I'm just like, how many times have you died? And then I'm like, he's been traumatized from the first time she died. And I'm like, if you've seen this numerous times, I'd be immune at this point. Especially if me dying makes me less human.
Well, that's the point. So he's gonna.
And then he was crying at the end. He's like, I don't want to keep acting like this. I'm like, you could have just like not offed all those people then. And then the thing with Gother, that just was like a weird.
Okay, we're going too far. Too much spoilers.
I'm not. No spoilers. I'm just saying, once again, they
Once you got to him, you can't go.
I'm just saying, they literally like all this information about who's actually on what team, who actually survived and lived. It's literally like, hey, here's the final battle for the last 20 minutes and the last 5. Quick, just like that. It's just shoehorned for like the last 30 seconds. I didn't hit anything important. But like that's how that's how shoehorned it is in the final episode of season 2. It's like, by the way, he's alive, she's alive, she's alive, she's alive. She didn't die. He's actually part of this team. See you guys next season. Like it just came at it like there was no real build up to the fact that like
Dragon Balls.
Basically, there was no real build up to the fact that these people survived. And I'm like, if you have to kill 7 hearts, pretty sure Bond stomped on all of them, and then Escanor lit them on fire. I don't get what keeps her going. And then Bond and Elaine. That is my issue.
That's Lolly. She's actually really
That's
really
creepy.
old.
The fact that she's built, getting out of here. The fact that she is Ariana Grande built, and then even in both English dub and sub, they bring up that the girl who's in love is like, what the hell does he see in a flat-chested child like you? And I'm like, she's 3,000 years old, but burn.
She's not even a child. She's a fairy.
Yeah, she's technically thousands of years. She's older than all of them.
Yeah.
And then they bring up the fact that the fact that she threw in the flat-chested insult make me laugh. But I'm like, yeah, he's tongue-kissing on screen this like person who stopped aging at like age 12 for like 3,000 years.
Yep.
And then Meliodas is carrying a baby saying, my woman. And then I go on YouTube and everyone's like, no, it's canon because she gets reincarnated. And everyone's like, no, it's still creepy. Which it is. I understand it. I don't have to like it. Understand it. Still creepy. I get it. If he wasn't there to like raise her into an adult to fall in love with every life cycle, it'd be less weird. Like if he was to drop her off in a kingdom and be like, I'll come back.
It's not like he always finds her when she's young. Like sometimes he'll find her like a teenager. Or
does he? Because they made it. When I was reading up on like in Reddit, they made it seem like every time she dies, a baby's immediately born and he immediately finds her. Like, that's part of the curse.
That's not the case. That's not the case.
Okay, I was thinking like he was literally finding his wife reincarnated or girlfriend.
No. It's just however he finds her. There's been times he found her old, sometimes young.
Okay, I'm like, if he's literally finding this girl as an infant and raising her to be his wife numerous times, I'm like, thanks, Woody Allen. This isn't creepy.
Wow. The way that the rule is set up is just he always bumps into her. It's just he doesn't know when or where. It could be 3 years after she's born.
And then why were we upset about Meliodas going if we knew? Like, the fact that we learned about his curse, I'm, like, insulted. We spent, like, 3 episodes about him losing his fight with the commandments.
Why were we upset?
Like, if they knew that was part of his curse.
Oh, they didn't know.
Did they? Because it didn't seem like they were shocked.
Oh, God. Okay, listen. My thing is when
he came back, they were just like, "Welcome back, Captain." Not, "How the hell are you alive?"
Yeah, they did say that. They were just like, "What the hell?" Because they really thought he was dead. But what's it called?
Merlin seemed to know what was up, though.
No, she doesn't know what's up. Well, I think I don't remember. I have to.
Because she was the one who broke down how his curse works.
Was it her?
Or maybe she's.
No, it wasn't her. It was him. He explained it because later on in the story, like they explained it, but it was. What's it called? They were using Elizabeth to like bring him back to life, and they thought that's what it was. But no, plot twist. It was the curse because we didn't know about that.
Yeah, the fact that they went and recovered his body, thinking there's some way he could come back, and I'm just like, this feels like I can't be upset because the power of the pen.
Yeah.
But moving on, we'll talk about that another day. Recommendations because we got to get out of here.
Okay. Fan service, guys. We need a fan service button.
No. You've been voted off the island. Continue.
I'm going to make one anyway. But fan service. So, Shidomita, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes does not exist. Guys, this is the funniest shit ever. I love this show. I almost said that for that's how much I love this show. It is just funny. It is just filled with just... Basically, the concept of this is where civilization has aged to a point or gone to a point where there is no dirty jokes allowed. There is no, like, you can't say, like, oh, that's what she said, or you can't make anything sexualized because they have these little collars on everybody. And it will, like, alert somebody or cause you bodily harm if you make these jokes. So we have a group of rebels that is trying to get the world back to that point where we're allowed to say dirty jokes and make those types of jokes to make the world a fun place because who doesn't love a dirty joke?
The show is America in 2019.
Yes. So there's a group named Socks where it's like I can't remember I'll say it next week, but it's just hilarious. And if you guys watching the video on screen, this is the main girl, like the silver haired girl. She is the president of the school where she's at, where that's trying to like make sure like lewd jokes aren't a thing. And she just had like her first like, she almost had her cherry popped, and she liked the sensation. So she's obsessed with our main character right there, the male. You just gotta watch this. It's just so great.
All right, and the show is, so we can just wrap this uncomfortable portion up.
And I made sure I looked at the sub because I noticed that we don't put the sound on for this, but you just have to like read it. And shout out to Code Geese or Gios, because Table Coon, poor Table Coon. Her love nectar.
We're gonna get banned from Twitch. Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, yeah, that's it for this week.
Actually, we've seen girls play video games on Twitch worse than what that just happened.
Look, man, there was a whole stream of what is it? There was a story today about some girl crying because her Instagram page got deleted.
Really?
And she was like, "I have nothing without my following," and the YouTube comments were just like, "Wow, you're sad." Like she legit, her dislike ratio was high, and everyone just ripped her. She's like, "I don't have any skills. I don't have anything to bring to the table. I don't do OnlyFans anymore. I don't strip. I just,
wow.
Like, I'm just an Instagram model, and I live off of that." And everyone was like, "Bitch, get a job. Be gone, thought, or do what the rest of them do. Just start a new account."
That makes sense. But what's it called, guys? If you guys really do like dirty jokes, definitely watch that show. It covers all the bases, and it's definitely fan service for everybody. So you will get a bang for your buck, literally.
And I'm still giving you One Punch Man as my recommendation. Season 2 is out right now on Hulu. Subbed and dubbed, I think, is out on Hulu and Netflix.
Just watch the sub.
Do your comparison. See what you like both. I mean, try both for all I care. I liked both of them. It was a good experience. But Anime Club, let's go ahead and do our schedule so we don't leave other people off.
Then our director doesn't kill us.
Yeah. Amp couldn't be here today. He had things to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday, we have Dungeon Seekers at 8 p.m.
Woo!
Tuesday, our newest show, 8 p.m., The Theater Goers.
I will not watch it when they go to see event.
I couldn't watch the other day. I legit came in to leave my like and go because I still need to see Shazam tomorrow.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why?
It's trash.
Okay, Shazam seems to be the one DC movie everyone likes. Like, people are giving Shazam higher ratings than Captain Marvel.
Clickbait.
Well, a friend of mine is asking me to do his Shazam for his YouTube channel as a goof. He does GTA mods. Shout out Petty Gang Gaming. So I need to go get into character. Theater Goers, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. We have their current stream up on YouTube. They went over Shazam. Watch it. Talk about it. Like, share, tag a friend. See what you think. Wednesdays, us, Anime Club. Thursdays, 8 p.m., by the way. Thursdays, 7 p.m., Two Top Podcast. 8:30 p.m.
Didn't do the thing.
Two Top Podcast.
There
He's not here. It's not fun. I'll do that for his pleasure and satisfaction because it makes him happy inside. But he's not here. He had other work meetings to go to.
Okay.
So Two Top Podcast Thursdays at 7 and 8:30 p.m. Springs Chat. That is us, Amplified Network. We have merch and all that. You can catch us on Facebook's going to get rid of this, but you can catch us on YouTube and Twitch. We are out.
And shout out to Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins for winning their titles. Bullet Club.